Recently, I've been reading the Blue Lock manga, and if you don't know what Blue Lock is, it's a very popular soccer manga where essentially there's this group of people who are recognized for their skills and they all end up in a facility where it's pretty much a battle royale between everyone there. If you end up losing a match or play poorly, you get kicked out of the facility and lose your rights to ever play for the national Japan team, which means your soccer career is basically over. So far, it's been a really enjoyable experience, and at first, I wasn't sure how the artist was going to be able to draw a sports manga, considering, it's a lot of movement, and I didn't think it would be possible to translate that movement into still images, but somehow they managed to pull it off very well. I don't know if my devices are spying on me or what, but right after reading it, I got recommended Blue Lock Roblox games on YouTube, and ever since, I've been really captivated by those types of games. I've pretty much played every Blue Lock game there is to offer, with some being pretty terrible and others being so amazing I was addicted for months on end. The reason I'm bringing this up in the first place is because by making this video, I already know a lot of people won't agree with the things I'm going to talk about, but I just want you all to understand that again, I have played many Blue Lock type games, so I'm not like your typical IGN game reviewer who has absolutely no clue what they're talking about. Anyway, I found a new Blue Lock game called Azure Latch, and just by looking at all the cool animations, I was immediately interested and I decided to check it out to see what all the hype was about. And I gotta be honest with you, I really didn't like the game that much, and I don't understand why it's so popular. But before I get into the reasons why I didn't like the game, I first want to talk about the things the game did a really good job on. Azure Latch, I will say, compared to other Blue Lock games I've played on the platform, is the best when it comes to replicating the manga's fast-paced feel. When you play the game, you genuinely feel like you're in the manga. The fast-paced feel kind of forces its players to play with their instincts because it never gives them the time to actually formulate a game plan, which is something the players in Blue Lock have to deal with often. Depending on who you ask, they might take this as a negative, but for me who wanted to play a game that's as close to the manga as possible, the way the game is set up is just absolutely perfect. Plus the fact that this game has some of the best animations I've ever seen, and I'm not even talking about Roblox, I'm talking about games in general. The animations are so good that even something as simple as just using your M1s to score a goal makes you feel like you're really that guy. And I'm being dead serious. If you told me the creator of the Blue Lock manga personally hired people to make this game, I would 100% believe you because of how close they managed to replicate its feel and the art style of the manga. Also, the MVP celebrations after the match ends is something I've never seen before and just makes the game even cooler. Anyway, besides the actual game, this game manages to make updates super fast and with really good quality. I've played many Blue Lock games, and the reason why I'm not on the ones I've played in the past is because they died out due to not being able to update the game fast enough, and even if they do, the quality takes a hit in that process. So the devs of Azure Latch do a really good job when it comes to updating the game, and just because of that, I don't see the game dying out anytime soon. Another thing I like about the game is that unlike other Blue Lock games, this one does a great job on handling goalkeepers. Specifically, I'm talking about player goalkeepers because honestly, so far there hasn't been a single AI goalkeeper in any Blue Lock game that's somewhat decent. But in this game, playing as a goalkeeper is at the same time challenging, but also balanced enough to the point where if you're one of those skilled goalkeepers, then there really isn't a shot you can't block. Like, I feel that the way they designed it makes their goalkeeper system one of the best there is. Now then, let's move on to what I really wanted to talk about and why this game at the moment just isn't really for me. In the beginning of this video, I was praising it for being fast-paced, but sometimes that can end up being a bad thing, especially when someone has possession of the ball. One of the major complaints I have about this game is that if you have the ball, it's pretty much impossible to lose possession of it because you're literally faster with the ball than without it. Unless you're a really bad player, once you get the ball, the only way to get it taken from you is if you're up against a really good goalkeeper. So because this game is set up in a way where you have an advantage with the ball, it's essentially a game of who has the ball versus the goalkeeper. If you don't have the ball in this game, you're pretty much useless because you don't exactly have a defined role due to this game being primarily striker based. There's one defender in this game currently, and that's Don Lorenzo. But the problem with this is that the one defender for some reason is a 0.4 chance to get. Also, now that we're speaking about chances, why the hell is everything so hard to get? I would understand it if they made making money easy to get in this game, but really the max amount of money you're getting in a single game is 500, which equates to only 2 rolls. Doing the math, I found out that for a guaranteed chance of getting a world-class style, you would need about 1,150 rolls or 287,000 cash. This game doesn't even have a pity system either, making it almost impossible to do that unless you've been playing since release and have used all the codes they give you. Another thing I have an issue with is the amount of exploits you can do in this game and the fact that the devs have known about these exploits but for some reason just refuse to do anything about them. For example, let's say you're a Don Lorenzo goalkeeper. Don Lorenzo has an AoE move that intercepts a ball and has a cooldown of 50 seconds. But the thing about this game is you can just bypass cooldowns by resetting and joining the same team again, making it impossible to ever score against someone like that. Oh, and another issue I have is with another style, which is Say's style. It's the fact that you can legit pass to anyone from anywhere on the field. Like, at that point, why even play the game normally if you can just get free goals? Apparently all these things are quote unquote bannable, but I haven't seen one person get punished for these things yet. I don't understand why the devs can't just fix these exploits instead of fear-mongering people into not doing them. It's like they're acting as if they care about the exploits, but in reality they don't care at all. Now I know that a lot of Blue Lock games have an issue of players not passing to you, but this game has the biggest issue of that because of the fact that it's so striker based. I want to talk about a different game for a moment, and that being an old game I used to play called Untitled Blue Lock game. In that game, everyone had a defined role due to the fact that you were able to create your own build with different stats. You want to be a speedster who's there to intercept balls and pass to other people? You can do that. You want to be a brick wall defender that's the last line of defense? You can do that too. Azure Latch has no diversity in what you're able to do, so what's the point of passing to another player who can't score more goals than you since they have no other use? It's really just a game of the singular best player versus the other best player with everyone else just being spectators. For me, I like more complicated systems where there's more things you gotta look out for, but at the same time I understand that it might not be something everyone is looking for. If you're into more simplistic games, that's completely fine, but personally, this just isn't the Blue Lock game I've been waiting for. I think I would rate this game a 6 out of 10 by my standards, which means it's kind of average. Yeah, the animations are some of the best I've ever seen, but unfortunately, I care more about gameplay than looks. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing because I post every year, so it'll give you something to look forward to. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.